Welp, here's something I've been meaning to rant about. Be warned, I may get angry. Hey guys, it's Artie Aries, and I'm back to vent once again. So, what am I gonna be venting about today? Well, it's more on the ranty side, as I have a lot of strong feelings about this, so let me hurry and get into it. Today I'm going to be talking about Chris Evans, him being constantly labelled problematic by Twitter, and why I believe that people are just being overdramatic. First things first, there are going to be some sensitive things I mention that relate to what I'm going to be talking about, so before I do start talking about them, I will put up a warning. Alright, for those who probably don't know who Chris Evans is, allow me to explain. He's the dude that plays Captain America in the Marvel movies. That's it. Yes, I know he's been in other films and played different roles. However, Captain America is his most popular one, so I felt that that's the best way to describe him to people who may not know. Chris Evans, who I believe is a genuinely good, kind-hearted person who loves dogs, has gotten into some controversies that Twitter warriors always seem to want to remind us of. Now, I am a fan of Chris, and with me being a fan, I don't like to see people I like get into controversies. It feels awkward for me, makes me uncomfortable, and breaks my heart. And to be honest, I feel a little uncomfortable talking about this, but I'm going to push through. Let's get into the main controversy. So there were reports of Chris Evans starring in a Netflix film called Red Sea Diving Resort, and when I first saw it, I didn't know what the film was going to be about. I just thought it was cool to see Chris play a new role and was willing to watch the movie. However, I remember going onto Twitter one afternoon and seeing people calling Red Sea Diving Resort problematic. I was so confused as I didn't understand what could possibly be so bad about this movie, despite it not being out yet. I'll give you a brief summary of the movie. Chris Evans plays Ari, a Jewish agent who, with the help of other international agents, used a deserted retreat in Sudan as a front to smuggle thousands of Jewish Ethiopian refugees to Israel in the early 1980s. Doesn't sound too bad, right? Until people started pointing out that Ari, a white male, is working with other white people to help black people. It's another white saviour movie. I'm not a huge fan of the whole white saviour thing. In fact, I downright hate it. It disgusts me at times, and I'm so sick and tired of movies using that plotline. People of colour do not, I repeat, do not always need white people to give us a helping hand. I'm not saying white people can't help, but they are not our be-all or end-all when it comes to situations, and I just wish movies would stop pushing that narrative. I saw people calling Chris Evans a racist because of it, and it disgusted me. I don't like when people throw around the term racist, but it's unnecessary. Calling Chris a racist based on a movie he starred in is bad. He's playing a character, and Ari wasn't a racist. If Ari was written to be a racist character, then he wouldn't have been willing to help black Jews. Like, there's been plenty of actors who have played racist characters and don't share those same views out of character, and have never been racist, said racist things, or acted racist in real life, because that would be, hands down, wrong. Throwing around a subject as serious and disgusting as racism onto a person who doesn't act nor has never acted in that way is disgusting. Chris Evans is highly against racism and racist behaviour and has no problem calling it out. If you've seen his tweets, you know what I'm talking about. I do not like when people use racism in situations that do not involve it, because all it does is pushes a non-existent and toxic narrative. And when actual racist behaviour occurs, it will just be shut down as people pulling the race card and being overdramatic. And that's incredibly damaging. But that's not the worst of it. I saw people calling the film anti-Semitic and promoting anti-Semitic views. For those who do not know what anti-Semitism is, it is the belief or behaviour hostile towards Jews because they are Jewish. It may take the form of religious teachings that proclaim the inferiority of Jews. For instance, political efforts to isolate, oppress, or otherwise injure them. It may also include prejudiced or stereotyped views about Jews. Now, I am not Jewish, so I didn't quite understand why people were seeing the film as anti-Semitic. So, I was thankful that someone tweeted a lengthy Twitter thread as to the reasons, and I did have a read, and I think it would be best if you all read it yourself and gain a better understanding. I'll link it below. This caused people to target Chris, brand him as an anti-Semite, and accuse him of being against Jewish people. And unfortunately, people are still accusing him of this. I even saw people calling Chris a literal Nazi and accusing him of perpetuating Nazi behaviour. Wow. I can understand why people are upset, angry and disappointed at Chris for taking a part in this movie and playing the role that he did. However, calling someone a literal Nazi is extreme, especially when said person does not exude that behaviour. I have never seen Chris wish or demand for all Jews to be massacred. I have never seen him support the Holocaust, and I have never seen him agree or support that genocidal, mad, disgusting piece of scum that was the cause of one of the most horrific and tragic moments in history and had millions of people executed all because they were different. And I'm not going to say his name because saying it makes my blood boil and leaves a disgusting taste in my mouth. Chris Evans does not deserve to be labelled as that, despite how you may feel about him. As I mentioned before, he was playing a character. He's an actor. It's his job. You have to separate the actor from the character. There are plenty of actors who have played anti-Semitic roles, but I don't see Twitter warriors constantly tweeting how those actors are problematic and that people shouldn't support them because they played a character who was against Jews. But they always do it to Chris, and it's unfair. Keep that same energy, or you look like a hypocrite. Moving on to the next thing that people were disgusted at Chris at for is... So a Chris Evans fan page posted this on their Twitter. It's a gif of Chris Evans laughing. However, somebody retweeted this and said,
"This gif is literally of him laughing at Jeremy Renner's misogynistic, slut-shaming joke about Nat."
People then linked the video. Here's the video.
I have a very serious question to start with about shipping, because I know a lot of fans were actually pretty invested in the idea of Natasha with actually either or both of you guys, and now obviously she's with Bruce. What do you guys think of that?
She's a slut. I was going to say something along that line. It's a complete whore. Trick, man.
Yeah. This is the first time I've actually seen this video, and it is kinda awkward. I don't know why Jeremy Renner even said that. He's already seen as problematic and has had his many toxic behaviours put out there that I may or may not talk about in future. But back to Chris. It is awkward that he laughed at Jeremy Renner's distasteful joke and people were disgusted. Chris did put out an apology that I'll read out for you. Yesterday, we were asked about the rumours that Black Widow wanted to be in a relationship with both Hawkeye and Captain America. We answered in a very juvenile and offensive way that rightfully angered some fans. I regret it and sincerely apologise. Was it right that he laughed at it? No, but at least he had the decency to apologise, and Jeremy Renner never apologised for it. I was more annoyed that this person had to bring it up. They're just giving people more ammunition to hate on Chris, which worked, as you could see per the tweets. I just find it unfair because I never saw anybody calling out this problematic behaviour until now. And it seems like some Twitter warriors are hating on Chris because it's the popular thing to do and it will draw attention. I feel like because of Chris taking part in Red Sea diving resort, people have took it upon themselves to call out his problematic behaviour, unstan him, and accuse his fans of excusing his behaviour and supporting a Zionistic, misogynistic, trash, white man. Come on. You don't have to like Chris, but don't hate on the people who are fans of him. Of course they're going to defend him. And I know that some of the people calling Chris out for his problematic behaviour and trashing his fans are also fans of other celebrities, and I can guarantee that if any of their faves got called out for being problematic, they would run to their defence. I just wonder if somebody who they're a huge fan of did the exact same thing as Chris, would they still defend them or unstand them? People are probably going to accuse me of downplaying Chris's behaviour because I'm a stan and can't see his faults. No, that's not true. I just wish Chris knew what he was getting into and didn't take part in Red Sea diving resort. And I do wish that he never laughed at Jeremy's distasteful joke. But that can't be changed now, unfortunately. And I did watch Red Sea diving resort. It's not a great movie, but it isn't as bad as people are making it out to be. If you still like Chris, that's fine. Don't let people try and force you out of being a fan. If you want to stop being a fan of someone, you should do it by your own terms. And if you don't like him, that's fine. But please stop tweeting that everything he does is problematic and stop attacking people who are fans of him. Anyways, that's my thoughts and feelings on the situation. It was a lot to get through, and this is probably the longest I've had to record, but I had a lot to say. Also, please excuse my voice if I sound stuffy. I'm beginning to get a cold, but I wanted to get this video out, so please don't get mad at me if my voice sounds weird. Anyways, that's all for now. Thank you for listening. Feel free to agree or disagree with me, but as always, please be respectful. That's all for now. See you in the next one. Bye bye.